Hello there. Welcome to another edition of Beyond the Stream. I'm Jack Murphy, and I get to sit down with a guy who's got one of those names that I have trouble pronouncing, Jeff Chrzanowski. Did I get it?
You're close.
Was it?
Yeah.
Do you run into that at the office?
Yes, and basically I just tell them it's Smith. All the letters are silent.
Okay, yeah, right.
Actually, it's much easier to say than spell. Chrzanowski.
Chrzanowski.
Just make believe it's S-H-I-N, and the rest flows.
Yeah, Chrzanowski.
There we go.
Yeah. Well, that's not an Horry County name. Back when they used to have like that HTC phone book
Right.
that was always prominent on a man's desk. I never saw that name in there.
It
I
was a
saw
race.
Hucks and Bellamy
Right,
and Vereen.
We were way back. It was us and Peter O'Ree. He beat us here, and we were like, all right, we'll go take Ohio and New Jersey.
Okay. So that's where the family comes from, Ohio, New Jersey?
No, New Jersey. I'm originally born and raised, spent first, 50 years up there. Everybody bashes New Jersey. I couldn't wait to get out. I couldn't wait to get out because I wanted to come south. I wanted warmer weather.
Right.
I wanted the southern lifestyle. But believe it or not, Jersey is a great place.
It's a beautiful place. I drove up there with my father in the early 90s, and I was blown away because what you think of in your mind in the South is that it's just all city, city, city. It's Atlantic City. It's
Right.
this, it's that. It's not. It's called the Garden State for a reason.
If you see nothing but the I-95 corridor and the New Jersey Turnpike, that's what your impression will be. But the most beautiful beaches, look, I live along some of the greatest beaches in the world here. I'll still choose Long Beach Island, Spring Lake, Seagirt, and a lot of those over these awesome beaches that we have here. Mountains up in the northwest, farmland for miles down in the south
Sure.
that people don't think about, as you said, the Garden State. So really still is a good place, but I love it here. I've got no plans to go back.
I turned off because when we're there on the interstate, I guess I get this from my father. We'll turn off and we'll take the little back roads, the scenic route, and saw some beautiful little towns. Saw a rodeo, actually.
Cowtown Rodeo.
Yeah,
Still in existence.
unbelievable.
Oldest rodeo in New Jersey.
I felt at home.
Yeah. It's still going on.
Well, you're not a bronc buster or a bull rider, so.
I am not. Been accused of, but I'm not.
Well, you obviously had some communications background before
Yeah,
you
I
moved down here and
actually-
joined HTC.
Before I got lucky enough to get picked up by HTC after moving down here, but I spent 20 years with Verizon prior to moving.
Okay.
So great time there, great company, obviously, Fortune 50 company. But the amazing thing is a successful 20-year career there meant numbers, not numbers like we have here at HTC, because every company is going to have metrics and KPIs that you need to meet. But as a publicly traded company, it's what are we reporting to Wall Street this
Right.
quarter? Get your deck slide ready because we need that for leadership to report. When I got to HTC, even though I knew what a cooperative was, I didn't fully understand that coming to work for a not-for-profit organization, right? So we steer clear. We don't say we're a nonprofit. As a corporation, you have to have some operating profits in order to run. But everything that we do goes back to the community.
Sure.
And when I say it's night and day difference between, hey, what am I reporting to Wall Street? And, hey, who are we going to give to this quarter? What organization
Right.
is going to benefit? Just as an example, in December, I had the time of my life. We had 3 different partnerships, 2 in Conway, 1 in Georgetown, with the rec centers and the sheriff's department. We distributed over 750 turkeys to families so that they would have a Thanksgiving and or Christmas meal. In the Georgetown event, we included over a ton of produce with that. It's all about that, and that type of organization working for that is polar opposite, but it's incredible.
Sure.
It has actually energized me to continue working. I'll stay there till they throw me out.
Yeah. Yeah, and being a member of the co-op myself and a longtime HTC customer, giving back, we get those capital credits, and we do have some say-so voting rights come
Sure.
into play as well.
Every member, like yourself, is an owner. right? So being member owned, people will say to me when I talk about how we give back and what we do, they're like, well, if you have to give it all back, why don't you just charge less? Well, that's a great question. It's a legitimate question.
Mm-hmm.
You have to operate a business.
Right.
Do you remember some things like, I don't know, Hurricane Florence and Hugo and some of these storms that can come in and wipe out half a network?
Yep.
If you charge less and you don't have any money in the bank, you're shut down. So you have to have a reasonable operating profit that you keep in case you need to rebuild,
Right.
to upgrade a network. Look, I don't have to tell you, we are probably in the neighborhood of 88 to 90% fully fiber optic.
Wow.
Fully. In a territory that we serve, our footprint is somewhere between the size of Rhode Island and Delaware. Even though it's 3 counties, it's Horry, parts of Georgetown and Marion, it's all fiber. We've been doing that for years, for decades now.
Right.
So some of that profit has to go into making sure your infrastructure is the best it can be to offer the speeds and everything you need to your membership. But then at the end of the day, when there's profit left over, it goes back to the community.
Well, the whole reason we have fiber, and you're bragging about those connectivity digital numbers that you have now, is because you did have that operating capital and the vision that came along to start putting fiber. I've said this with many other guests. I'd ride along and I saw you guys putting fiber out in some of the strangest places. And I just drove 3 miles and I didn't see anybody out here. But you guys planned for the growth. It's almost magical of what happened. Connected. We have the same or better connectivity than they have out in California, out in the Silicon Valley.
Well, I'll draw back to the Verizon years. I was there when we deployed Fios. Look, there's no doubt that a lot of the people that live in this Grand Strand area moved from New York, New Jersey, Virginia, where they had Verizon, they had Fios,
Sure.
they had fiber optics. I was here when we rolled that out. I was a part of that. This network, I will put up against that network any day of the week.
Yeah.
It's just newer, right?
Yeah.
It's something that we'll continue to do. Some of the rural areas have been opened up via some of the government grants. So like you say, we may be putting fiber out there and you drive 2 to 3 miles before you see a house. When they come, it's there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole different vibe. That was the whole purpose of the co-op anyway. I mean, getting that telephone back in the 50s and the 60s was tremendous.
For anybody that's lived someplace else and was around during the 50s, you took for granted that there was a phone on the kitchen wall.
Yeah.
Not down here.
No.
No. Bill System said, why would I build down there? There's nothing but mosquitoes and cows. And literally 7 farmers went to the state assembly and said, what do we have to do? We need phones.
Yeah.
They went to Washington. They got the what they needed to do, and the co-op was born.
It's a wonderful
Coming up on
story.
75 years next year,
Oh.
in 27.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Wow. I still remember the big 50th celebration. I've mentioned a time or two on some of these Beyond the Stream sit-downs, and it gets away from you. I mean, the time just flies
fly.
by.
It sure does.
Well, the taking on of Marion and Georgetown, obviously, Horry County has lots of room to build. I mean, people say that we're overdeveloped, and I'm like, you need to see it from the sky. This is a big chunk of real estate. But Marion and Georgetown, growing areas, because it's not going to be anything for folks that are going to continue to move down here to drive 35 or 40 miles to the biggest town. Right. That just goes with the turf.
One thing that people don't realize is doing something like putting fiber in an area can generate business growth, home growth. If you're a major builder and you've got the ability to build somewhere where there's fiber, and you can attract people who are now working from home, telecommuting, going to school online, it's there.
Yeah.
So it actually drives economic growth for areas.
Of course it does. Yeah, I've got friends that live up in the Northeast, and they've moved over into Ohio, and they are pretty much. I don't think they really retired. They came on as consultants, but it's you're there on the computer screen,
Right.
and for that, it's almost like, why walk down the hall? Why don't we just enjoy life here on the lake and do our work? So the connectivity. big to do over in Marion County, Georgetown. They've accepted you real well, excited about what you're offering.
Look, excitement tempered with who are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially you go to Georgetown. There's a marked difference between Horry and Georgetown County.
There is. Yeah.
And even though I'll walk in there and say, "Hey, we're the local guy," they're like, "Who are you?" So you do have to market correctly. You've got to become a part of the community,
Sure.
which, as you know, we've already done for 70 years. So it's establishing yourself as part of the community, being there at the events, giving back to the little leagues and the school systems, and having them understand who you are. So it's not a light switch. It's not an overnight thing. But yeah, when people see us, see who we are, get the product, they're happy.
Well, at the offices that encompass HTC, y'all have this vibe. I still like going into the different offices, despite the fact that I can just click and pay my bill, and it's wonderful. It's almost like family in there, and I hear that from a lot of HTC employees, that there's that family feel. I've seen you out on some events. The radio station that I work with, we did big Thanksgiving event. Some scheduling didn't happen this year, but you guys anteed up on the other side and made sure that some funds got to the group that we were helping out. Is it really that? I mean, I hear it, and everyone says that. I mean, where I come from, we'll treat you like family. It feels like family there. I'm like, well, I know how my family acts.
Yeah. It almost sounds cliche. It's not like something I can describe. I can walk into one of the retail branches and have a conversation with one of the employees about, their son making honor roll or enjoying that or having a grandchild. And at the same time, later that day, I could be in my office and run into our chief strategy officer and just have a conversation with him about what's going on or what movies we're watching on the weekend. You can talk to anybody. There is nobody who is off limits. Now, that doesn't mean I just walk in when I want, where I want, and have the conversation.
Yeah, right.
There are lines like everything else, but the vibe, as you said, is unlike any other place I've ever worked.
Well, let's key in on family. Let's talk about yours a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, because the holidays, we just got through those, and you said it was quiet at the house.
It was quiet at the house. It was very quiet.
You like noise.
I need activity. I can't. I don't do quiet. Right? If I do quiet, next thing you know, I'm on the couch. It's done. I'm done. So I need something to do. But my wife and I have been married 37 years. I've got 3 daughters, 2 granddaughters. They're married. They're everywhere from Boston to Ocean County, New Jersey, out to the Raleigh area, and see them as often as we can. But family's everything. But you got to have something to do. Quiet doesn't work for me.
Doesn't work.
No.
Yeah. So what part of New Jersey did you grow up in? What
I
was little
born
Jeff
and
like?
raised, Little Jeff was I got paroled in '72. No. Born and raised in a small town called Dumont, New Jersey.
Okay.
Population was about 19,000. Very blue collar, working class, great town to grow up in. Went to school there. Like most other people, swore I was going to get out of town. Married my wife, bought a house in town a couple years later, and stayed there for several years before moving down to Ocean County along Long Beach Island in Manahawkin. Spent 20 years there raising the kids. There was more space. They had the beach. They all worked along the beach in the summertime. So yeah, it's been good. It's been a great life so far. I'm blessed.
He's reluctant to tell me about little Jeff. Did you play sports? Or?
Oh, God, yeah. I was baseball all the time, 24/7. I'm still a huge baseball fan.
What's your team?
Mets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so for all you folks that came down here with your Yankee bumper stickers, I see you. 27 rings.
I think
okay.
I'll just remain silent moving forward.
I work with a ton of Atlanta Brave fans, and it is so much fun to break each other's chops about how good or bad one of the teams is doing. It's great. But, yeah, I played sports. I played baseball and football as a kid, transitioned to soccer in high school. Was an okay student as long as I could pay attention, and then went off and started a career.
Yeah. Well, the giving back, and I think about that. I go to a lot of sporting events, and I see an HTC sign on a lot of athletic fields, or they're in the program, not just for athletic, but for theatrics and the arts as well. So I appreciate everything you guys do for the company, or the community.
You have met some of the folks on our team. You know, when we talk about Samantha and Peyton and stuff, their job in marketing has got nothing to do with our advertising and everything else. Their job is our sponsorships. We probably sponsor over 1,100 different events a year. Doesn't mean we're at 1,100, but we are just in the community. Their job is to make sure we are in the community and part of the community.
Well, we're glad you are, man. No doubt about it.
We're glad to be there.
Jeff, thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Jack, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Absolutely. Beyond the Stream. Good stuff where we dig a little deeper into the folks that make HTC the great company it is. We'll see you next time on Beyond the Stream.